All right, now this subject is very sensitive to a lot of people. And I've noticed after like over a year and a half of making videos on the subject of age gap relationships, there are just some people who are just so negative, thinking about things that they are completely clueless. So when we talk about age gap relationships on this particular channel, we're talking about mature men and women. Now, statistically, a mature person is someone who acts in such a way that they can be deemed as responsible for themselves based on the decisions that they make. That's the definition I was pretty much brought up to believe about what a mature person is. But then you get the sciences involved, and science talks about the solidification of a person's brain. Well, solidification usually happens for women between ages of 23 and 25 because the brain is relatively soft prior to that. And then for men, 25 to 27. And it really depends on which study you look at because it's not a balance. So we don't really need science to help us to make a decision based on who's mature. We can actually look at a person's actions and add up the actions and the personal accountabilities that individuals have to see, can they make decisions and live with them, or do they make decisions consistently bad? Because there's some people in their 40s that make consistently bad decisions. But if they were dating someone 40, we would be like, well, that's an acceptable relationship. Now, you just can't have it both ways. A person should be allowed to choose whomever they decide they want to be with. That's a personal freedom of choice. That is a right of a human being. So on this channel, when we do discuss age gap relationships, we're talking about a variety of people. We're talking about people who are consenting adults. On the legal side of it, I'm not here trying to say that a person 18 is not a consenting adult. Those are not the decisions I'm looking to make. I'm talking about a consenting adult. The law says you're 18, you can get married. There's some places you can't get married until you're 21. And the law doesn't stipulate how old your spouse needs to be because that's none of the law's business. This is based on your ability as a decision maker in your life to make a decision and live with it and live by it. So in this discussion, we're going to investigate age gap relationships. Now, an age gap relationship can be a man in his 70s dating a woman in her 60s. That's a 10-year age gap. Or it can be a man in his 40s dating a woman in her 20s. What is the problem that people have? I've come to learn after being on this planet for 54 years that a lot of times when people make a complaint about a lifestyle decision of other people, it's because what they think about. Oh, an older man is just a predator. Is he really? Now, we're not saying that all men are predators, and we're not saying that some men are not. What we're saying is, in the essence of a relationship and a love relationship, a relationship based on principles of two people coming together, wanting to spend the rest of their lives together, neither you nor I, unless you are a party involved in that relationship, really has the right or the ability to even be able to question their motive because we're not involved. We're not in the day-to-day activity. We're not a part of the grind, as it says, that people are in that are in these relationships. Because I'll tell you, I'm not married to a younger woman. So some people always agree, oh, you got a younger woman. I'm not married to a younger woman. The bottom line is this. I have many friends who are in age gap relationships, whether it's an older woman with a younger man or an older man with a younger woman. It doesn't matter the age gap. Many of them seem to be doing just fine. And I have friends who are all of the same age, married, and many of them seem to be doing just fine. But then in those same classic relationships that people call classic relationships, you find a lot of problems. There's a huge divorce rate. The unfairness when it comes to age gap relationships, when they talk about the divorce rate, they say, oh, it's 3 times greater. I have not seen this in my personal life, but I'm also not a person that studies this. I'm just talking about what I know that goes on around me in these relationships. So they say 3 times the amount of people who are in age gap relationships actually get divorced. But what they don't tell you is the whole story. They don't tell you the backgrounds of people like they'll tell you the backgrounds of people when they are of the same age. They don't do it the same justice. So I don't really care about what statistics say. So if you want to bring to me all the information about statistics, guess what? In this argument, I'm not interested in your statistics. I'm only looking at what people are able to achieve based on the decisions that they make. Now, are you so bold as to say that every age gap relationship ends in failure? No one would even make a claim like that. But you will read a comment that someone makes, or you'll watch a video and you'll just assume all older men are predators. That's nonsense. There are young men who are predators too. Did you even know this? And all women are not out to be gold diggers to have men take care of them. But what is wrong with a woman wanting a man? Seriously, can somebody tell me what is really wrong with a woman wanting a man who has a little bit of money to take care of her? I mean, I guarantee you some people don't buy used cars. Some people only buy new cars. Some people only live in brand new homes built from the ground up, where they're the only souls that have ever lived in those homes. Some people just have a thing that's called personal. So when you say that a younger woman is only into it because of this, and you've never met her, you've never talked to her, see, what you need to do is to be specific. If you're bold enough to be specific and say, oh, my friend, such and such, put their name out there. See, let them come back and be able to offer you a different point of view. See, people won't do that. People will just say in generalities, oh, a younger woman is only interested in an older man because what he can do for her. But when you stop and really think about it, what is so wrong with a woman wanting to be treated with respect and taken care of? And what is so wrong with an older man wanting to be with a woman who treats him with respect and who takes care of him? What is so wrong with that? Nothing is wrong with that other than the twisted images that people keep putting in their minds and spewing out in these ugly comments. I mean, some of y'all are just dumb. I mean, I don't know any other way to say it. I don't mean to be insulting. Well, maybe I do just a little bit, because the truth is, some of y'all are just dumb. Some of y'all just have the mindset that you want to believe what you've heard somebody else say. But see, you're only bringing up these negative, nasty, rude, disgusting thoughts because that's what you're feeling in your own heart and your mindset. See, many people that go into these age gap relationships, they're in these relationships for one reason: love. Love. They just fell in love with the person. That's it. And what's wrong with that? You cannot define what love is for another person. And I find that many people who I have looked into who make these comments, and we've done chats one-on-one, I find they're in broken relationships. They don't like their man. They don't like any man. They don't like their woman. They don't like any woman. So all they have to say are these negative things. Is a man a predator just because he's in love with a younger woman? That is the most absurd and judgmental thing. Now, all of you may not be Bible readers, but I've said this on this channel many, many times. The first relationship between a man and a woman was an age gap relationship. And people have questioned me and said, well, how do you know that was an age gap relationship? Well, the man came first. The woman was not created right after. There was a lot of things that the man had to do. The man named Adam. And one of the big assignments that he had was he had to name all the animals. And he also was receiving instruction from his creator. So he had a relationship with his creator. He had a job task, and he was told to cultivate the grounds and to extend the boundaries of this garden in Eden. Now, how long would that take? Now, there are millions and millions and millions of animals and different types of species around the world. And he named these animals and passed these names on to his children that passed those names on to their children. And so we know what a lion is. And we know what a chimpanzee is today because of what this man did thousands and thousands of years ago. Now, how long would that take? That's not a task that you can do in a week or two. And the instructions that he had, he got to know his creator. And then the creator made an observation that when he was looking at the man looked a little sad. Why? Because he saw all the other animals matched up with couples and partners, and they having children and offspring. And so God put him to sleep, took out of him a rib, made a woman. Now, the distance between that time period of the man being created and the woman didn't happen overnight. That's what we're saying. So the first relationship was an age gap relationship. It probably took some years. Many people who are a lot smarter than me when it comes to the Bible have estimated that there was an age gap between Adam and Eve of anywhere between 15 and 25 years. Now that's a big difference. And you've got many other examples in the Bible of older men with younger women. And the Bible never speaks negatively on it. So many of you people who are so-called religious and call yourself Bible pushers and Bible enthusiasts, you're making all these claims, but you're not basing it on the very fundamental truth. And the fundamental truth of any relationship is love. It's just love. So maybe you have a problem with love in your life, and I hope not. But if you do, there's a way that you can fix this love that you have within your own life. But don't take your lack of love and your lack of being appreciated, of being in a great relationship. Don't take those things and take it out on other people who are managing their lives just fine, living off of the decisions that they made in an age gap relationship. Is the younger woman mature? Yes, she's mature because she's a mature woman. She's making a decision as an adult for her. She can only live her life. Other people cannot live her life for her. And the same is with the man. Is he a predator because he had a conversation with a woman and he liked the conversation and it felt great to him? And she uplifted him and made him happy and he was able to make her happy. I mean, isn't that what a relationship is about? I mean, to sit there and just judge people negatively on their choices, is that what you want people to do with you and your choices? Because the principle of the matter is real simple. It's really simple. If you're going to judge people based on the decision that they make by criteria based on your emotions, and everybody did the same thing, none of us would have peace. So why don't you just relax, look at it this way, and just allow grown people to make the decisions that they choose to make and live the life that they choose to live as you enjoy the one. I hope you enjoyed this video and my points of view. Like I said, I'm not a guru. I'm not a person that is an expert in this particular type of relationship, but it is what I talk about on my channel. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you wait and look for the next video, which is right here. But I hope you really do enjoy it, and I thank you for your time, and I hope you have a wonderful day.